Not enough YouTube comments already. Only one.
Yeah, it's a Monday.
Nah, son, it's a season opener, bro.
Yeah,
Come on, bro.
I feel you.
We are back. We are back. Let me get this on Crazy Cast. Whoa, where the comments at, man? Yo, watch it. I see people in here. Nobody saying nothing.
Where's the link on the? I'm gonna tweet it out. Maybe I just tweeted it out too early. There you go. Here's some comments. Here they're coming.
There we go, man. There we go. Come on now. Nobody misses the season opener. Come on. Everybody's tapped in. You do, Ryan, if you're looking at how to share the feed, it's different now on Twitter.
Yeah, I forget. I did it last time we went live and
Okay.
share broadcast. There we go.
Why Duke fans? Why Duke fans, man? Cooper only had 16. He had 18 though.
Yeah, he just barely covered.
Yeah, we cover. Great teams cover. Ain't that right, Russ?
No, we cover by a few.
Good teams win. Great teams cover.
Cooper covered by 2 on his.
Oh, prop bets, dude. I always hate the prop bets. There was some conversation actually about it in one of the in the whatchamacallit, the Trilly Donovan Discord. Everybody was like freaking out that the Caleb Foster line was like 12 points for plus 550, and everyone was like, "That's a lock. That's a lock." I kind of wanted to be like, I don't know that it is. If you got greedy. Some people took it at like even money plus 9.5 or 9.5 points, and that worked fine. But like, I don't think that player props, especially against bad teams, are good, because once you're beating a team by 20 to 30, like, you're not looking to score as much. You're not looking to really like rack it up like that. You know,
trying to rack it up.
Yeah,
he was very happy tonight.
He had 12 with like 8 minutes to go.
But Cooper also had 9 in that exhibition. You know what I mean? Like, there will be games where like our best players just like randomly have like a single digit game. I feel like.
Yeah. All right, let's get it started. We'll go ahead double video. Let's go double video.
Everything was about 33s or something.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of felt that. We kind of feed off that energy.
This place is amazing. Like I really love Duke, and I love the atmosphere I'm in here.
Mark Williams, beast mode. Paolo first half, he had the cramping stuff. Fair enough. Beast mode.
Guys, man, thank you for what you guys do, and appreciate you guys having me on.
Gotta add that in. You know, a little. I didn't make the intro.
What's going on?
Friend of the show, baby. Friend of the show.
You gotta add that in now. We're gonna play that every episode. You know, shout out to Coach Shire coming on the pod. But we are back. The Crazy Cast, new season, new year, new excitement. Russ just dropping off immediately. I don't know where he went.
He started saying he couldn't hear anything. So.
Oh man. Let's come on, bro. Off the bat.
Off to a good start.
Off to a great start. But yes, we are back. The Crazy Cast, fresh off of Duke's season opener, 96-62 over Maine. You know, not the cleanest game tonight, but they still ended up scoring 96 points and, you know, covering, as our friend Russ says, who dropped off again. Great cover. But yeah, you know, let's jump right into it. Ryan, give me your early thoughts from this game as we wait Russ.
Yeah, I mean, a 30-point W, can't complain about that. I think it went a little bit slower than we would have hoped. Maine was hitting some tough shots. They were hitting fadeaways. They were hitting shots over guys. Like, just, I don't want to call it lucky shots, but they were throwing up shots and they were going in. And so it took a little bit longer. And I think there's got to be a little bit of nerves there for some of these guys. I know it's not their first game in Cameron, but it's their first official game that matters. I mean, Con Knipple and Cooper Flagg, man, it's going to be a fun duo to watch this season. Knipple just kind of picking up where he left off in the exhibition games. He's just such a threat at all levels of scoring. He can get downhill. He can hit shots. Very aggressive defender. Sometimes even maybe a little too aggressive, but it was a great win. First win of the season. Can't complain. We'll get into some more of the X's and O's later, but also shout out to Common. He was awesome tonight, especially in the first half. Set the tone early. Him and Cooper with the 2-man game was fun to watch, and we got a rim protector back, which is cool. So yeah, just a good all around win. Maybe took a little bit longer than we expected, but hey, first game jitters, got to get it out of the way, and like we said, good teams win, great teams cover, and Duke did just that. So
for sure. Russ, what do you got, man? Welcome back after leaving twice.
Yeah, dude, I wasn't for whatever reason while you were playing the intros, I lost audio entirely. Man, good, great to see us cover. Obviously the first half wasn't ideal in some ways. I mean, that's a bit nitpicky, obviously, but I saw a bunch of people saying like, oh yeah, Maine just hitting crazy shots. And while that's true, at a certain point, once you let a team get into rhythm like that, which we kind of did in the first half to some extent, like, yeah, they were getting like some fadeaways that were fadeaways, but not like fadeaways with guys draped all over them, just like fadeaways like you see guys taking at the Y. I think that there were some shots that looked are like mid-rangers for sure, but I thought Maine was getting some like cleaner looks than I would have liked in the first half. Obviously, Maine won the rebounding battle in the first half, which I have no doubt that Coach lit into Duke at halftime over that, because then we won the second half on the glass by like 15, I think. So, like a little sleepy to start, but, picked it up in the second half. And I do feel like because our depth is so strong, you might just see this on occasion with Duke where, the second half just looks better than the first because we can grind teams down. I mean, we've got 3 high major level starters coming off the bench in Gillis and James and Brown, and that's not even including Evans and Harris. So I think the stamina of other teams against us is going to wear out over the course of games. But, Maine is not a good team. I know they were like hyping them up, during the thing, but like America East is not a great conference. Maine, is going to be a sub 200 team. We did cover the spread. That's all that matters. End of the day. Just as Duke fans, we want to see against these bad teams, Duke get out to like a really hot start. And we didn't quite get that, but it's first game of the season, still a young team, a lot of room to grow. Obviously, as I didn't hear everything that Ryan said, but I mean, Coop and Con, fantastic. Caleb and Proctor, I think together did pretty well. Those Malik bounce passes were outstanding. Sion, I think you tweeted this, Zion, but like watching, but I want him getting downhill more. I mean, like he's got the strength to do it. I do think, again, I think Zion tweeted this, but like, I think that we had some periods where we were settling for jump shots a little bit when like we have a physical advantage over a team like Maine. Like we should be ramming it down the throats of a team like Maine. Like, with Sion and Caleb and even somebody like Mason, who's got some strength, Cooper and Con, obviously. So, room to grow. Even though we covered is what we need to do, but also, much tougher game next up. We'll see what the guys do when like the spotlight is a lot brighter and when it's not a game where the public necessarily thinks, oh, Duke can just like waltz in and win the game. I think the mentality, as we've seen with Duke teams in the past, sometimes we've seen young teams come out in first half a little sleepy against a team like a Maine, and then against a team like a Kansas or a Kentucky, they're awake. They're wide awake.
Yeah.
So I'll be really interested to see how Duke does against a team like that.
Yeah, I definitely think at least earlier game, to go back to the point of like the early game struggles. Definitely
nitpicky when I say struggles. Obviously.
Yeah. Not struggles, but like from what we've seen of this team so far, we know that they could have played better.
They could do better.
And I tweeted it, but that my biggest fear early is just falling in love with the 3 ball. Obviously, this is a great shooting team. They didn't shoot the ball well tonight. Maybe it evened out at the end, but I don't feel like we need to fall in love with the 3 as much as we did early in the game, especially when we have the size advantage. I mean, you look at Kaman scored his first 2 buckets just being big. Didn't even really have great position, but he made the shots because he was just bigger. So I think we definitely need to utilize that more, getting downhill, attacking. I thought Caleb, when he did attack, really good things happened. And I think he, like someone did mention, I tweeted as well during the game, his skill is kind of very underrated. I think he has pretty much everything a guard you would want a guard to be able to do. He could do. He just needs to, be more aggressive, especially attacking the rim. And I thought in the second half, definitely, obviously, the rebounding improved. Something I have noticed, and I'm not going to put too much stock into it yet, because it's so early, obviously. Khan got a little iced out in the second half. And I saw in the exhibition, the first exhibition, I think he hit 5 threes in the first half. He didn't get as much looks in the second half. When a guy's going like that, I want him to get the ball as much as possible,
Yeah.
But obviously, this team is so talented that, that's not going to be the case. But I thought we should have, fed him a little bit more in the second half. I also thought we should have fed Kaman a bit more. But yeah, I think it's just for what it is early in the season, you will take this win because it is a win, obviously, and they covered, and there's a lot to work on. I think better when there's a lot to work on.
Yeah, and the other thing that kind of stood out, I don't think either of you mentioned it, was the amount of turnover wise. We only had 1 less turnover than them. We had 13. I feel like we were kind of careless in the first half with the ball.
Very.
Just doing too much. I don't, like I said, it can go back to first game jitters, but you can't turn the ball over at that rate against the teams we have coming up on the schedule. So that was a little bit concerning. The other thing I want to chat about is that Tyrese Proctor's role on this team is going to be very interesting to see how it evolves over the course of the season. I don't think he played bad. Like, I just don't know if his usage, and it doesn't have to be, his usage doesn't have to be high this season. I just don't know if, like we talked about, potentially having that Wendell Moore type jump for him. It's one game, like it is what it is, but like he shot the ball 5 times tonight. Or 6 times, and 5 of them were 3-pointers, which is fine. He's a catch and shoot guy. They talked about on the broadcast. He's good at that. But I don't think he handled the ball much at all. Had no assists. Defensively looked like he normally does, which is great. But I'm just more so interested to see how his role on this team evolves, because it was pretty clear that Foster was the ball handler. Sion handled it when he came in as well. Cooper did too. So yeah, just interested to see how his role is. This isn't a shot at Proctor. I'm curious to see how that evolves, which is great. And then I wanted to talk about Cooper Flagg's ability to pass out of double teams. You saw it a lot in the first 5-6 minutes. I think he had a couple easy assists to Common right away under the basket. Just, what was that?
Come on.
Sorry. We got all these. Yeah, never mind. It's just names that I'm just not used to pronouncing. Okay, I'll get it. I'll probably pronounce Sion as Sion a few times.
I'm gonna get mad at that one.
I know, but it'll be there. Anyways,
what's Kaman's last name, Ryan?
Maluach. Maluach? Maluach. I hit it. I nailed it the first time.
Yeah,
nah, you're giving it a little bit of a U. You're giving it a long U.
Yeah. But I do want to go.
Hold on. But I just want to say, Cooper Flagg being able to pass out of double teams, it's going to be very beneficial for this team. Hitting guys in the corner, hitting Kaman in the post, or just empty around the rim. So him doing that is going to be huge for this team as well. He did it a few times tonight. So all right, go back to what you wanted to go back to.
Let's go back to what you said before, Tyrese Proctor.
Yeah,
because I mean I did look at the usage rate. What he was like the 6th highest on the team tonight, and I'm not saying Tyrese Proctor has to be the primary point guard for our team. Like I said, there's going to be a lot of guys handling the PG duties, not because we don't have a point guard, it's because we have a lot of people capable of it. But I'm not too sure I like Tyrese Proctor as a full-time off-ball guard, especially when this was someone who was one of the had one of the best turnover to assist ratios last year. Like, this is what he does. He's a point guard. So I wasn't too happy with it, but I mean, you can't complain with the results. I just hope he gets more of an opportunity to play his natural position for the full season.
But so then you how do you use him there then? Like, or like who does he take the ball over from? Because it's not going to be Foster, and when Foster's not in the game, sure maybe, but Sion took it over tonight quite a bit. I don't know.
I think Caleb is a more capable off-ball guard than Tyrese, in my opinion. I mean, he played it last year.
What are I'd be interested. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I would be interested in seeing specifically on catch and shoot threes whether Foster was maybe more effective with those off the bounce threes, like we saw him hit one tonight, obviously, and maybe over practice. I mean, again, this is purely conjecture, but like if Proctor is drilling off the catch threes and Foster is a little more effective, you know, with off the bounce threes than with pure off the catch threes, then maybe John's just like, for the purposes of getting our best 3-point percentages, put the ball in Caleb's hands and see, you know, how plays develop, that Proctor can still get, you know, passes, you know, in the flow of the offense theoretically. Again, that's purely a guess. I don't know.
With Caleb though, he can get downhill so fast. I think Money Mall acknowledged it here, but Tyrese Proctor doesn't get downhill like Caleb does. Caleb can attack the rim. He's more of a playmaker when it comes to running the point that way, and he can just do a lot more. I feel like you said, Zion, his bag is underrated and deep, and so maybe that's why, like you said, it probably goes back to what they're seeing in practice, and Tyrese has been the better catch and shoot guy, and Caleb got to the rim a lot tonight. It seemed like there was he got fouled a time or two and stuff, and he might have missed a couple, but that's going to be huge this year, is him doing that on a consistent basis, which I think makes him more of a threat when he does bring the ball up the court. And then obviously when Cooper does as well, he does the same kind of stuff. So
Proctor is better at creating separation than people give him credit for. He's not some mega athlete or anything, but like he is crafty. I mean, like there's a reason why he was a theoretical like early second round pick after his freshman year. And it's because in that Tennessee game, I mean, we saw like him hit some step backs, you know, like create a little space. His issue has always been just, you know, finishing through physicality at the rim. But we also have a lot of guys who can do that on this team in theory. And if we're trying to shoot a lot more threes, I don't really know that that's a problem. Foster can definitely run an offense. My concern isn't that. I don't really have concern. Let's be clear. But But Proctor's ability to make high-level passing reads has been on display for the past 2 seasons. He'll also make a couple. He'll force the issue a couple times too, right? He's looking to make some home run passes out there, but he's very capable of doing that. And if he doesn't have the ball in his hands, I do think that it's harder for him to create some of those opportunities to get those passes going. I mean, like if he's purely a catch and shoot guy, then like, are we putting him in the Jeremy Roach role? You know what I mean?
No, I don't even think this is Jeremy Roach. I'd compare this more to, at least tonight, it looked more like Matt Jones.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That's what the role he played tonight.
You're not wrong.
You're not completely wrong, but Matt Jones more so set. I mean, I get what you're saying. I'm not going to argue with that. It's not.
That's what it was.
He was more of a corner sitter.
Proctor took one shot that was not a catch and shoot. Proctor took one shot that was not a catch and shoot 3 tonight. I mean, like, you know, and he really only tried to create, you know, an assist like once or twice. I mean, like he just didn't have that much opportunity. You know, people trying to. The fact that people sell Proctor instantly and assume that because I don't sell on him that is just mind-boggling to me. Like people in the comments who insist that he is, you know, some washed prospect is absolutely insane. This should be the first game of his sophomore year of college. I mean, like he was a reclass point guard prospect. Like, and he shot the ball really well tonight. He defended well tonight. His plus minus was, not distinctly behind Caleb's.
It wasn't a bad game.
It wasn't a bad game in the slightest, but because he's not getting 5 assists or not scoring 18 points, everyone is like, well, he sucks. And it's like, dude, Duke fans, cool out. Like, what is your problem? Like, calm down.
I do like Dylan Wright. Shout out Dylan Wright, good guy. He said if Proctor can shine in a Quinn Cook role with Foster doing his best Tyus Jones impressions, on the surface, I'm fine with that. I think they're
that's always the comparison. That's like always the stereotypical.
Well, but like in this one, like when we had a duo that can play like that, Tyus Jones type with Caleb Foster as far as like attacking, getting downhill. You have Proctor who can catch and shoot the way Quinn Cook potentially catch and shoot the way Quinn Cook did. Also, shout out to Sean Smith. Every single comment he's made tonight has been negative towards me and said to get rid of Ryan. So appreciate you, Sean. Keep tuning in. We love you, man.
Hater, man.
I need a Ryan hater. We need a Ryan hater in here.
Bro.
So
I got Zion haters. Russ has Russ haters.
Russ doesn't have any haters.
No, Russ has got too good of hair. But no, I mean, but yeah, in a perfect world, it would be great to have it turn out that way. But like, it's hard not to go back to the past Duke teams and compare to what guys and duos look like. Like we have Kaman as a rim protector, and it's hard not to compare him to Mark Williams or Derek Lively. Like it's just natural. It's going to happen. So I like it. I'm not saying Proctor is going to be able to put up the numbers Quinn does, but if you can be the catch and shoot too, that it seems like they're going to put him in that role to be, then hey, I'll take it. He's not the leader he is, obviously. There's differences.
I just don't like it. I just don't even think it's even close because Caleb is not the player that Tyus is. Not the pass.
No, he's just I think he's more so talking just like that dynamic is all.
I get it.
Also, like Quinn at the end of it was so established like who he was. And again, there's this guy Michael in the comments saying he's just a guy. Proctor is 7 months older than Darren Harris. Like he is a young player, he has got room to grow. Now, will he have room to grow if he's not got the ball in his hands? Time will tell. But like, look, they did say something smart on the broadcast, which was, if he wants to be a first-round draft pick at some point, he's not going to be a first-round draft pick because he drops 20 points a game. That's not why teams would draft him. They would draft him because he's an efficient, assist-to-turnover guy. He can knock down catch-and-shoot threes, and he can be a strong defender. Right. Like, so if he can show all three of those things over the course of a season, given his size, then that would be great. But again, he's got room to grow. And I too find it interesting that he is not on the ball. I find that very interesting. Maybe it'll change given matchups. Maybe it'll be matchup dependent. Maybe, again, maybe they've been seeing stuff in practice with Foster running the show that just the chemistry with particular lineups is going a certain way, but I would like to see Proctor running the second unit. I mean, I feel like that's kind of a given, but Malik did some really nice sort of initiation of, some backdoor stuff. Obviously, Sion is, he's shown some things. It's all just very interesting. It goes back to the whole Harris and Evans thing too. When you've got a lot of dudes who can control the ball and who can pass the ball and initiate offense, then some guys aren't going to be initiating offense as much as they could. And it'll just come down to what coach thinks in that respect.
Yeah. And we don't want to make it sound like it's a negative thing. Obviously, it's not.
No, we covered.
It's an interesting topic. It's an interesting topic. It's just an interesting topic that, it's like me personally, I prefer for his pro's sake, for Tyrese to get, a little bit more touches on the ball, but I don't think it's an issue. We just have a lot of mouths to feed.
I also don't think that Foster is necessarily like the most like I'm trying to think of like the craftiest dime that I've seen him make, right? Like he can make good reads, he can create things for people out there. But I don't know that I'm like seeing him like put it on a saucer out there. You know what I mean? Like I don't know that I've seen him, find a guy and we've gone like, how did he get that pass to that guy in the way that we've seen Proctor make those passes before? So, but again, maybe that's what this team needs. Maybe it needs somebody who can keep the ball moving and, get downhill with a little more ease.
Yeah.
Yeah, how about them 3 veteran transfers we had tonight? I feel like they're going to be the ones that don't get the praise a lot this season, but are absolutely going to be the glue and rock of this team. We've talked a little bit about Malik Brown, and he came in and actually ended up playing more minutes than Kaman, and he played really well defensively on the boards. Maybe one of our best passers on the team, which was awesome to see. And then Mason Gillis played 20 minutes. You had Sion played 21 minutes. Like that's a deep team right there, man. I mean, and those guys played really well and did exactly what we needed them to do. What are you laughing at, Russ?
I want to say Malik Brown, you know how Emil, when he was on the team, he had the one spin.
Here come the comparisons again.
He had like the one spin
I like
move. Yeah, but like
It
he
ain't
had
bad.
one spin move and he did it every game and he did it
Yeah.
a bunch. And
Yeah.
it always worked.
Yeah.
So like keep doing it, right? I don't know that I'd say Malik is like one of the best passers on the team necessarily, but he's got a pass that is super good and effective. Like that, he just kept trying that same pass over and over again. He got 4 assists that way. Would have had a 5th if Tyrese didn't bungle the one catch. And it was the same like play basically in the same pass every single time. So like I wouldn't call necessarily. It was when he said he might be one of the best passers on the team. I don't know if I'd go there, but like he will be able to generate assists with the pass that he is very, very good at making, and that read and that vision that he uses his height for. I mean, that is an asset for sure.
For sure. I think Malik, I tweeted, but I think he does a lot of things that are just not really gonna get credit. I mean, his deflections today, the active hands, that's a special trait. Like his ability just to poke the ball consistently.
He's going to play, I think, in the year 2024. Before, like it'll change as the season goes on, but he'll play more than Malawach, I think, in the first 2 months of the season. I mean, like
for sure.
We saw Kaman get burned on some, when he was getting pulled away from the basket a little bit on a couple of those defensive possessions. He's obviously a monster at the rim, but like Maine kind of figured out pretty quickly, let's just take him away from the rim. And we're going to have to figure out exactly what sort of drop coverage scheme will allow him to stay at the rim and not be switching all 5 everything out there, because I don't know that that's his strength. But Malik can do that for sure. And I was really, really impressed. I mean, look at that line. I mean, like 2.7 assists for 7 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal. I mean, and certainly the deflections, like Zion said. I mean, like if we were counting a tally of those, there would have been multiple of those as well. I mean, he's going to play a lot, I think.
Yeah, I definitely. I mean, I don't think we needed a tape to see it, but Kaman is gonna probably struggle on a lot of in ball screens. And they're gonna make him work, especially for smaller teams. Even like the times, what's his face? I forgot. Steele. I mean, he that kid played very well tonight. He just put his chest into Kaman and said, "I'm still gonna go up. I don't care." Yeah, 7-8 wingspan. There are gonna be a lot of smaller bigs that do that to him, especially if they're older. So
at large, I mean, we've got Hunter Dickinson up next, right?
But I do like Hunter Dickinson. I like that as a command game a little bit more.
I think foul trouble, and I think Dickinson's sheer like strength, like the fact that he's a 5th-year senior, right? He's probably 5 years older than Kaman. So I mean, I think that's going to be a game where we're going to see some Malik Brown.
I think it's a better Malik Brown game.
Especially given that Dickinson really wants to go and shoot a few threes a game, do a lot of ball screen stuff, like a ton of ball screen stuff, a lot of pick and roll. I can see a game. I can see a world in which Malik plays like 25, 27 minutes in that game. I could totally see it.
Yeah. Sure. I mean, he is going to be the more, I guess, reliable option to start the season. But I did have a question. about to you guys because what I saw earlier in the first half, and then obviously we got a scare in the second half with Cooper's cramp. He was tired after the end of the first half, very tired.
Yeah.
Like that's why I think the shot clock ran out because he was gassed.
I thought Khan looked a little tired at times too.
Yeah, because they're that tired. You figure we'd open the rotation a little bit more for Darren and Isaiah. But yeah, what do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I agree they look gassed, but it's also like the exhibition games can count a little bit, but like their first high level, I mean, adrenaline's going. They're probably this is bigger than what they're used to. Probably faster pace as well. I'm shocked they both played 30 minutes. Flake played 30, Khan played 31. To me, that's that's surprising, especially when you have like with Foster only played 22, Proctor played 26, Sion only played 21. Like there was room, like you said, to open it up a little bit more. I do think there was something to be said from, or maybe Shire was thinking, well, hey, we haven't blown these guys out just yet. Went at halftime with only an 11-point lead. Like I think he wanted to see what these guys had in them to come out and kind of put it away. And that's why he was still in at that time when he cramped up. I think at that point they're up by 25, 30. But like, yeah, I think if they would have blown the doors off him a little bit earlier, that would have happened. But yeah, it kind of surprising. I thought I'm surprised it took as long as it did for Harris to get in. Isaiah kind of came in surprisingly early for me in the first half. But yeah, so a little bit shocked by that, but I just don't think Shire liked that they were hanging within that 10 to 15 range as long as Maine did. So that'd be my only guess, but a little concerning going forward.
Yeah, I mean, I think Isaiah came in part for exactly like Cooper came in. They were trying to do a line shift, and that's what they just brought him in for that. Yeah, I think that they had to play a bunch because 22 minutes into the game, it was only a 10-point game.
Yeah.
I think that, again, not to like harp on something that ends up not being that big a deal, but if you're not blowing out a team that you should be blowing out at the beginning of the game, in the first 10 minutes of the game, you might have to play 30 minutes. We might not be able to see as many minutes from the young guys. And certainly Kansas is right around the corner. I mean, like Cooper and Khan are going to get all they can handle in that, right? Like, I don't know what to take away from that necessarily. I do think that Cooper there was at least one or two attempts where Cooper was inside and like his decision was basically, let's just put it up and see what happens. he had a couple of shots of like, let's just throw it at the rim and maybe it'll go in. Khan being like a little more precise than that.
Post.
Yeah. So I do think that it needs to be part of the strategy for the season to get off to hot starts. That way Flag doesn't have to put, like, how many minutes did he play in the first half? I don't have it in front of me. I don't even know how to look at that necessarily. Oh, it's Cooper played 16 minutes in the first half. Khan played 17. That should be closer to like 13 and 13. You know what I mean? Like that should not be that much. And it's a testament to the fact that the first half just didn't quite go Duke's way, the way that we'd love for it to go.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I'm not worried long-term about that. It's a long season, but we saw that the offense in the first half was a lot of Cooper and a lot of Khan.
Yeah.
So like
it was weird.
That probably played a role too, right? Like,
yeah. It was definitely a little bit weird to see Cooper very shot happy tonight because he was looking for his shot. I guess maybe he was trying to send a message to Maine, that's his hometown school right there. But yeah, it was just it felt uncharacteristic because I mean I watched him a lot even at Montverde. Never really did I ever feel like he was forcing shots. Tonight it felt like he was forcing some shots up. And I don't mind it. I don't mind the aggression, but it seemed like a bit much tonight.
I mean, how many of those shots came when it was like a 10-point game, 9-point game? Like, how much of it was him looking and sort of reading what was going on with the offense and going like, somebody got to do something. Like I don't know whether that was a role. I'd have to go back and look at it. He did take 9 shots in the first half.
There were some unforced ones,
and there were a couple of
the
unforced
threes.
Yeah, although maybe taking 4 threes is too many, but I would like him taking 2 to 3 threes a game. I mean,
For
you got
sure.
you got to keep him honest. He was also he plays so hard. Like that's the thing with both him and Khan. I don't think it's a training thing. I don't think it's a conditioning thing. I think it's like, man, you're just leaving it all out there. And if you're going to be playing 32, 34 minutes a game, that's a big ask. That's a huge ask, especially for guys who are 17 and 18. So I don't know. Hopefully, again, hot starts would do a lot to alleviate that.
For sure.
Oh, I was muted. I was going to say, I agree with you there, Russ. There was a few times that I noticed where both Flegg and Knipple were doing a little too much on defense, maybe going after a rebound they didn't need to go after, or trying to go after steals they didn't really have a chance at. And I think that'll just come with learning to like when to take risks, when not to. And those little moves like that add up, especially if you're overexerting yourself to make those plays that aren't going to actually happen. So I think it'll get better. And
but they were the two most active guys on the floor at
for sure,
all times. I mean,
for sure.
In a game when there's got to be a mental component when you know that you're favored by 30 and it's like an 8-point game with like 5 minutes left in the half or whatever. You're thinking we're gonna make some stuff happen out here. We're gonna do it now, and I'm gonna be the one to do it.
No, 100%. I'm all for effort and everything, but if it's going to come at the expense of that, you're not actually making the play. It was one that you probably weren't going to get anyways, and B, when there's 5 minutes left in the game and it's a close game against a good team, you don't want to be exhausted because of those mistakes. Again, love to see the effort. It's just more calculated at times. Will probably get better as the season goes on.
It also might certainly be, when you're playing a Maine, you probably think you will get those things. Like if they're still jumping out, against Kansas, for things that they might not have a chance at. I just don't expect that as much in the long run. I want to point out a stat that I thought was really interesting. So we took 63 shots. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
29 attempted threes. That's like 47% of our shots were threes, right around 23 layups. 29 3-point attempts, 23 layup attempts, 9 non-3 or layup attempts, right?
That's basketball. Threes and dunks and layups.
Threes and shots at the rim are certainly what you want. I mean, that's obviously what Coach talked with us about a little bit, was wanting to shoot more threes. If the breakdown continues like that and we're winning and we're covering, then I'll be very, very excited about what this offense can be. We obviously scored 1.35 points per possession today. That's very good. 96 points, very good. 71 possessions, pretty good tempo. But I'll be interested to see when we're playing a team that like has somebody at the like, again, not to just keep bringing up Kansas, but like Hunter Dickinson is a wide body inside. He's not somebody who defends well in space, but they're not going to ask him to defend in space. They're going to put him inside and say, you've got to score in the chest of this guy over the top of this guy who's like 7'1" or whatever. I'll be interested to see what our shot breakdown looks like when we're up against a team with like an actual wide body on the inside at the rim.
Yeah. I also think we're going to shoot better, way better than we have in most cases tonight. And we
shot 38% from 3. I mean, that's pretty good.
We stat padded it a bit. We stat padded it for sure.
Darren came out and hit that one. Shout out to Darren, man.
Gillis hit one too, and when it was we were pulling away. So
sure. Yeah. You're right.
Yeah, but we'll shoot better than most cases than we did tonight, just overall with the looks we got.
For sure.
So I'm not even necessarily worried about, how we're going to score in the paint. against a bigger body. Because I still feel like it's going to play to our advantage, especially playing Hunter Dickinson. If we're running our 5-out offense, listen, good luck, Hunter. I mean,
So what does the lineup look like in a 5-out offense that actually forces Hunter to defend the perimeter?
I still feel like even when Malik is at the 5, he has to defend the perimeter.
He'll shoot it, yeah.
I mean, I
Not
know
even
I know he will shoot it, but if I'm Bill Self, I'm telling Hunter Dickinson let him shoot wide open threes.
Then you have the Cooper at the 5 lineup if you want to go 5 out, probably.
Which I'm not fully.
That might be tough defensively.
Yeah,
for us.
defensively.
Oh, sure. I'm just saying, like, if you can't do Brown, then you have to do Flegg. I don't know who else you put at the 5.
It's a give and take, is what I'm saying. I don't think we're going to be able to draw Hunter away from the rim much.
You could put Sion at the 5.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. You're gonna laugh, but Sion is one of those people who can annoy. He's built.
Sure.
He's built like a bigger Drew Holiday, and I feel like he go bring that same energy where he'll annoy a big man, not completely shut down.
No,
but I mean, John did say on the podcast that Sion is one of the guys that could guard 1 through 5.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't be totally surprised if we see him guarding a post player often.
This Kansas is Kansas the next game? Do I keep bringing?
We got a few. We got Kentucky, then we got Arizona.
Friday.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. Oh, Kansas is in Vegas. I forgot about Kentucky.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Kentucky's got some good size too. They got
Arizona
Amari
before
Williams
Kansas
is real good. Arizona. I don't
They
know.
got Andrew Carr too. They'll be playing a double big lineup.
They will, yeah, and both of those guys are pretty versatile. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see when teams, if our breakdown continues to be we want threes and we want shots at the rim, it'll be interesting to see if teams go, well, okay, let one of your guys shoot naked open threes and we'll keep our guy down low, and how will Duke adjust if teams throw that at us? They've thrown that at us for a couple of different players over the recent years, right? Mark certainly, obviously, very famously Trey in the NCAA tournament, right? So yeah, I will be interested to see what Duke's offense will continue to evolve and look like. But great early results, obviously, from everything that we saw today.
Yeah, I don't want to get too much on the. I'm not looking to bash former players, but I saw a tweet from Buckets by Bagley, and it made me go.
That guy's a troll, bro.
Yeah, but
don't bring him up.
No, he's funny sometimes. He made a good point. He said,
funny,
how would Duke look tonight if they still had Sean Stewart, Jalen Blakes, TJ Power, Mark Mitchell, and Christian Reeves? Honest God,
Blakes did his thing tonight.
Yeah, he hooped today, bro. He hoops.
Hey, I'm not calling out anybody individually, but can we just say that we are thankful for the 3 transfers that we had tonight?
Yeah, you could have said that without the way you
set
it up, dude.
Why you have to bring up the other thing?
What do you mean? I just brought up. I just wanted people to think about where we were and where we are now. I appreciate what the staff did in the offseason, and
not get me in trouble.
I like where we're at now. I'm not getting in trouble from it. They're not even on the team anymore. I'm just saying.
I got connected to those people.
UCF came back and won. Speaking of former players,
they did.
Shout out to Johnny Dawkins. Wow.
I was trying to look at the box score for Missouri.
Who did they beat?
Texas A&M.
Texas A&M.
Well, that's a good win.
It's a great win.
Is Henry Coleman still there?
Henry is still there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm looking at right now. Mark, Missouri is down to Memphis in the second half. I won't say his stats. I was just looking to see.
Say the stats because you already.
Well, now you have to.
You have to now.
God bless.
Mark's
has a shovel and is just
5 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists on 2 of 6 shooting. Hey, we all can agree it was an upgrade. We have an upgraded. We have upgraded bench.
What are your thoughts on that stat line, Ryan? Because you want to go deeper.
You want me to keep going?
It sounded like
you know what? I bet you he's playing good defense. Okay.
Oh, okay. Jeremy Roach has his debut tonight with Baylor will be very interesting to see.
I'm actually excited to watch Jeremy play tonight. That'll be fun.
Dude,
Jalen Blake's 12 points, 2 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks. That is, and he started the game. That's a dude. That's a lineup right there, man.
Let's go, Jalen.
Man.
All I know is when that boy get the camera, bro, we just go back up and let him shoot that
Dude, he's gonna be so annoying to play against. He's gonna be so annoying to play against. You know that like Tyrese and like Caleb are just gonna be like, man, I thought we didn't have to deal with him anymore. The practices, he kept getting on me, and now he's gonna be back. Look, I think that the former players that we had in a number of ways could have had more opportunity and could have earned more opportunity, but could have also been given more opportunity. Could have been there was opportunity for development in there. There was
he made all his layups too.
He made all the layups. I mean, I wasn't watching. Maybe you didn't. But I don't think that I don't think that the people who left are like
Russ is giving his most politically correct answer right now.
No, you made it sound like it was some albatross that Duke had like 4 or 5 5-star dudes that then left this offseason. I mean, like, I don't think that that's the case. I think that it's a complicated situation, and I think that several of them will probably benefit in their new homes. And
sure.
And will play quite well.
For sure.
Yes, it might benefit us, but also there were ways in which we could have maybe had some of those guys contribute more and give us some of that same production potentially. I think it's a complicated situation across the board.
Yeah. Christian Reeves did get some run tonight. They're up a lot right now, and he's got 3 points. So shout out him and 3 rebounds.
Good for him. Good for him, man.
Good for him and the Clemson Tigers.
Quick question, Russ. You got it out. So, quick question.
No, I'm good now. Actually,
you're good.
It got bumped back. I'm good.
I got a question for y'all. So, is Khan a lock now to be our leading scorer?
I mean, he'd be the betting favorite by I think quite a bit, with obviously Flag falling at number 2. I just think the way Khan scores is better at the college game, and he's going to have more opportunities to put up bigger numbers throughout the season than Flag. So yeah, I'd say it's a good shot. It's Khan. Otherwise, you can make an argument for Flag, but I think that's 1A, 1B. Everybody else is vying for third place by averaging 12 to 13, 14 points a game. That's my guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Jaden Shootout here with 9 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. I think that yes. The short answer is probably yes. Just again, if he can make more threes than Cooper over the course of a season, which is basically a lock, then threes are more than twos. So I think that in that sense, I think he probably is.
Hey, I can do math. All right.
There's certainly a world in which Caleb could do it. But yeah, I mean, I think those are probably your 3 guys. Proctor's just never been the guy to score like 17 on game in and game out, but he'll make a lot. I think he'll make a lot of threes this year. I just don't think that he'll top more than 12, 13 points a game. Right. So, I think Khan's the betting favorite for that. I think Cooper will stuff the stat sheet more. But I think Khan will stuff the point part of the stat sheet more.
Yeah. I do think it's going to be, especially early in the season, the box scores will be all over the place. I think so. Like next game, we could see Caleb have 19 and, Sion have 15 and Flag has 12. Khan has 16. Khan will probably be up there consistently as a top 3 scorer. But I think in terms of who will be the leading scorer per game, it's definitely going to fluctuate game to game.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
I don't think the guy who said Khan doesn't look to pass, that's for sure. I don't think that's fair at all. I think Khan can absolutely
Khan's a
pass.
good passer.
Khan's a good passer. I agree. Dude, there's always people in the comments who say some wild stuff. I think, Brandon saying he thinks that Foster will lead us in scoring, but he's got to be better at the free throw line. I mean, I think if you were looking at betting odds, the chances that Khan is a better free throw shooter this year than Caleb are pretty high, right? Like, I think Foster will take more attempts probably than Khan from the free throw line, but even then, maybe that's not even a guarantee. I mean, Khan got one more in tonight, so
This man says if I were Khan, I wouldn't pass. Yeah, me either, man.
Yeah. No, it'll be good to see us against a real team. I'm excited to see us against a team. It'll be really good.
Next Tuesday against Kentucky.
I wouldn't mind for the audio listeners. Says, do y'all think that Isaiah Evans will get more minutes toward the end of the year? I mean, historically speaking, and in most seasons, your bench minutes don't go up towards the end of the season. So I would say him getting 7 minutes tonight against Maine is a sign that they will not increase throughout the year. But it wouldn't shock me in certain scenarios and depending upon what we need off the bench if he does get a little more burn in other games. But then again, Darren Harris is the sharpshooter of the two of them, and him only playing 3 minutes tonight was surprising. But I love Isaiah Evans' game. I honestly thought he would have been playing more minutes this season. I think it's just a product of the three transfers that we had come in this season that he's not going to get as much run as he probably would elsewhere. So it's nothing against Isaiah. I just think that the guys that we brought in provide a little bit more of what we're looking for. And Isaiah's going to, I hope we get him for a couple years and he sticks around because he's a great player. Because we're going to need a playmaker like him in years to come. So I think, I don't think it'll increase by the end of the season, though. No,
I think I think you'll know in the next month. I think you'll know by the end of 2024 because we have had guys who maybe didn't play much in like the first game or two, but then you could sort of tell they were going to get up towards like closer to 10, 12 minutes. You could tell by like end of December, beginning of January. I don't know. Like, it depends on what they see in practice. I'm sure that a big part of it is probably defense, right? Like Evans and Harris of our top 10 players that we have. I mean, you've got to think they're probably on the bottom of the totem pole in terms of their ability to contribute defensively right away. Right? That's not even a slight to them. They're they're young. They're freshmen.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I thought Isaiah got in first today because of defense.
And then didn't he commit like 2 fouls like right away? Yeah. I mean, it's hard. Playing defense as a freshman is really, really hard. So yeah, I don't know how much they'll play. It would, again, I hate to just keep beating this drum. If we got out to bigger leads early, we would see them play more and we would see what they can do a lot more.
Yeah, I agree. I'm a McDonald's All-American and riding the bench is crazy. Well,
I mean, the roster's crazy.
Yeah, that happens at Duke a lot. Like that's why you come to Duke. You want to compete. That's been the constant theme. I've even listened to Jason Tatum today on his podcast with Jeff T. He said, compete. You go to the Duke to compete. A lot of McDonald's Americans don't play.
And Khan wasn't a McDonald's All-American.
Yeah, Khan wasn't one. Caleb wasn't one because they wanted to put in Bronny James, but that's another.
Dude, I forgot Caleb wasn't one. That's
crazy
to me. That's so crazy, dude. Darren wasn't one too, was he?
Nah, missed the cut.
Darren was hooping last year too.
Yeah, he really was.
He was filling it. It's just got to be impossibly hard. It's just got to be so hard. You're playing against the best players every day, and it's so much work, and everybody wants to play because every game is on television, and every single game you have a great opportunity to do something really special, both as a team and as an individual player. man, it's just got to be really, 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 really hard.
Wait,
I can't imagine it.
Wait, on that note, though, we only have 2 McDonald's All-Americans on the roster. I just noticed that. It's Cooper and Isaiah. That's it.
That's kind of crazy. I didn't even think about that.
Everybody else, Tyrese was
You're right.
international. Kaman was international. Can't be. Khan didn't make it. Darren didn't make it. Obviously, all the transfers aren't McDonald's All-Americans. There's only 2. People can't use that narrative this year.
Then they'll switch the narrative to being lottery picks. We're gonna have probably 3 of them.
Also, like the 5-star thing is very like McDonald's versus 5 stars is something entirely different. You know, no, don't shush me.
Just trying to get the haters any more fuel.
Oh man, yeah.
Oh yeah, they're really gonna be. It's gonna be a mystery to them that Duke is riddled with 5 stars on an annual basis. I better keep it quiet so no one figures that out.
Yeah,
That's not been in my mentions at all ever.
Watch your mouth.
Yeah. Yeah, man. We just got a loaded slate coming up. And the ACC, again, I'm a believer that the ACC will be better this year, even though Syracuse almost lost to something called Lemoyne.
I just saw that. I'm sure Malik is glad he's out of that show. But yeah, next games, we got Army on Friday. I'm not sure if we'll be live for that.
No, I won't be.
Okay. And then on Tuesday, next Tuesday is the big one, Kentucky, 9:00. It will be late. So heavy slate. And then it begins the after Wofford.
Yeah, it's insane.
You get
even Wofford is good. Like Wofford's a good team. Seattle's a good team. Like these are all teams that are like top 120. Like these are teams that'll like probably contend for like, you know, NIT bids or whatever, right? If not, like Seattle potentially getting their auto bid. I mean, Maine and Army are the only 2, you know, kind of layups until like December 10th.
That's crazy.
Yeah, everything else is pretty stacked.
We're about to go into war. About to be a legit war after Army.
Yeah. And Kentucky is so they're not experienced together, but they're all old. Like it's a very old.
Yeah, they're gonna be a team that could be kind of sneaky. Like, and Mark Pope, I think, is a really good coach. I'm not like scared of Kentucky, but like, what was that?
They shouldn't be that sneaky. I mean,
not like sneaky, but like for them being a just barely a top 25 team at the beginning of the season. I don't think they're going to be that way for a while.
Bad ranking.
I agree. That's why you look at them being ranked 23, and I think they're more like a top 15 team. And that's going to people are kind of, I don't want to say looking past, no one's looking past the Champions Classic in Kentucky, but like we've been talking more about Arizona and Kansas. But that Kentucky match, that might have been just because Russ had his scheduling mixed up. But
I still expect to beat Kentucky, but that game is definitely going to be. It's going to be war. They have too many vets.
Mm-hmm.
Too many vets.
Good thing we got a few of them too.
They didn't take as many threes tonight as I would have expected.
Who, Kentucky?
Yeah.
How many did they take?
They took 24 of their 65 attempts. You know, they scored inside a lot. I mean, Lamont Butler isn't really a shooter. He gets downhill. You know, the kid who transferred from Oklahoma, Amari Williams, obviously.
How did that Kobe Bryant do?
18.
Kobe Bryant, 3 of 4 from 2 and 4 of 4 from 3.
Oh, yeah, that's the guy we got to be locked in on 20. That's 24/7.
Yeah.
At least this year, with him being like 6'7", at least we shouldn't have guys out there this year that he can just shoot over the top of, which is what we had to watch all year last year, right? Like,
oh man.
At least you didn't name names there like I did.
We can name names: Jeremy, Jared.
Very good players who just aren't as tall as 6'6", you know.
But yeah, I think unless you guys have anything else, what's the story on Ngangba? I mean, it looks like he's been warming up. I don't know if he's going to redshirt or not. I can't tell.
I would imagine he does, but I have no idea or no insight.
I would imagine he does until it's a big game, and Kaman has 2 fouls, Malik has 2 fouls. What do we do? Call in the 7-footer.
Yeah, I would not be, and also just let's say Malawach is just like a bit more raw in some of those like matchups against big bodies, and like you said, and we need 5 fouls and we need strength and size. I mean, like he can bring that to the table. Like I don't know. We'll see what happens with him. I would love to have him available. I mean, period.
Why is this Dan dude so hostile tonight? What's good with you, brother? Yo, you Jeremy out your mouth. What is that? What is that, brother? You good? UNC in a little battle here with Elon. So gonna go tune into that and we'll watch Gonzaga Baylor. We appreciate y'all for tuning in with us. We'll be back probably next Tuesday. It sounds like for Duke, Kentucky, the first home run game of the year. So we appreciate y'all.
We might have no ACC losses in the first game in the first day of the season for I bet it's been a minute since that's been the case.
Yeah, shout out to Louisville for keeping that up.
Cal could still lose, but like I don't know. It's been a promising first day for people who believe that the middle of the ACC should be better here.
Sure.
Oh, Joe, appreciate you, Dan. But yeah, we'll see y'all next Tuesday. Keep tapping in with us. Hey, if there's any shout out to the Field of 68. I did not do that. We do got a new code. I have to lock it in for home field apparel. We'll get that to next episode. And also, if anybody is watching and you want to help sponsor the pod, DM me or email me in my bio.
Hey, I've got a sponsorship. Be sure to tune in to Netflix on November 13th. Hot Frosty, November 13th on Netflix. And then on Hallmark, 3 Wise Men and a Boy, November 23rd. On Hallmark Mysteries, Christmas Under the Lights, November 27th. And The Santa Claus on Hallmark, December 14th. Huddle up for a nice Christmas rom-com with somebody who loves you very much. And if you're not booed up, get booed up by the time these movies come out, man.
This man has been busy.
Holy cow, man!
Congrats to Russ, though. For real, congrats to Russ. Awesome stuff.
Congrats.
I'll be watching,
man. Yeah, send me the link. I don't got Netflix. Give me a Netflix.
He'll send you an illegal stream of it. I'm sure.
Let the record show Netflix that I am not doing that.
We appreciate you.